and welcome to the In-Game Boss Podcast. I am your host, Player One, Jeremy, aka your retro activist, aka your in-game boss, aka the number one cutter, not stunner, cutter. I cut my finger at work today on a saran wrap, so it's no war battle story to talk about that. You know, apparently I don't know. Apparently I don't know how to wrap an item, so go me, right? But one person that did get his cut that you can't see because it got blurred out. My buddy Jaron.
Hey, a.k.a. the evil of Aku, a.k.a. the resting grump face, the grumpy bear. A.k.a. I really needed this mental health day.
I agree. Every day is a mental health day, right? It should be.
I when it gets to the point where you just have to straight up tell someone's like, yo, I'm just not going to be in that day. I'm sorry. I got PTO to burn.
Good for you. I need some PTO.
You know?
I need some PTO. But you don't get PTO at restaurants.
No. And I'm sure you'd have the PTO stacked up because to stack it up, you just can't use it or can't get a chance to use it.
If it can turn into cash at the end as I leave the place, I'll be fine. I'll be happy. Most places don't do that. Most places don't do that.
Sometimes I wish it was like the hospital. When I used to work in the hospital, it was like you could take a portion of it and turn it into a little bonus check. Mm-hmm. You know, nurses were making bank.
Right.
But yeah. So AKA I'm mental, y'all.
And this is a video game podcast shows landed in Oklahoma. And as you know, we are a bi-weekly show, as our goal is not to only challenge you, but challenge ourselves in fun topics. And today's episode is due to an event that happened actually on October 5th. And I'm pretty sure after saying that, you know what it is, and we'll get to that. But before we do that, I just want people to know that we do other content on the network. Definitely check out on our YouTube page. Only on YouTube. That's where we do all our content. We have a movie podcast, When Jeremy Met Nam. Definitely check that out. We are into our Halloween picks. And one is coming out soon. It's called Willy Wonderland. Willy Wonderland.
Movie.
Yeah,
Very
so definitely check it out. Nicolas Cage is back in the mix as a silent protagonist in this one. It's hilarious. We did our World Gaming Trade Show that I do with my boy Brando from the Game Addict Podcast, where we pick old school games that have been talked about for many years and why should it come back and who should bring it back. And our two picks for this one that came up for our monthly one of that is Beautiful Joe and Soul Reaver. So, yeah, check that out. Out. Yeah. And also check out my little segment there that I talk about a little thing called the Production 5 Project. The story about 5 Capcom games that came to the GameCube, one being canceled, and one being one of the biggest hits of all time, now on everything, that is Resident Evil 4. So, but people probably forgot that it started on the GameCube first. And so, So, but before we even go to anything like that, we got to get in some news before we go into our main topic. So, Jaron, what news do we got today?
Well, actually, you mentioning that last bit about the Capcom 5 reminded me just yesterday, or as I should say on the 7th of October, they dropped the new Resident Evil remake trailer.
Okay.
Yes. I saw it. Not sure if you've seen it yet.
I have not.
Okay. It looks very promising. Like I hope they finish and polish up some of the CGI because a couple of the monsters looked and then a couple of the other monsters you could tell they used practical effects with CGI, so they looked great. But so far, this is like a Resident Evil. It sounds like they're trying to do a little bit of a love letter to the fans because it's like the first 2 games with little hints at Code Veronica and stuff like that all mashed in. You know, okay. They got your Chris Redfield, Claire Redfield, Jill Valentine, Leon Kennedy.
They got them all in there in that house?
I told you the first 2 games mix it. You get to see the mansion. You get to see the Raccoon Police Department. You know, I know they're going to slip Ada Wong in there.
Wow, I hope they're not doing too much.
So that's the thing. Yeah, that's what Brandy was worried about. She's like, "Oh, I hope they don't fit too much in there." But,
right.
Still, even if they flub it, I at least want to see it at least once. And she agreed. It's like we're gonna don our Mad Max Wasteland gear and go to the movie theaters, maybe a matinee or something, and check it out. So I think it's next month. It's November. I think it's November 24th or.
Okay. I'll definitely check that out.
Yeah. November 24th.
I don't know who's the helm of it directing, because I would like to know like what their record of films they've done to kind of just get an idea what they are.
Johan Roberts.
Okay.
He did 40. He's a director and writer. He was involved with 47 Meters Down and Storage 24. So nothing like super huge.
Okay.
But,
so this is his big break.
This could be his big break, or this could be the nail in the coffin that buries him. Not sure.
All right. If he does well, then we can get Dino Crisis the movie.
Oh goodness! You need to get Dino Crisis the game first.
Right, one step at a time. Right.
Yeah, you need to get the remake. But yeah, Resident Evil. Welcome to Raccoon City. So.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. What else you got over there?
Let's see. Got Ghost Recon Frontline. Ubisoft running in late like usual on the Battle Royale kick.
Well, now, are you automatically dismissing Hyperscape?
Yes, I am dismissing Hyperscape.
Okay, right on.
Like, I can easily pretend Hyperscape didn't happen.
I think a lot of people are already doing that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I mean, the Battle Royale kick. For the most part, it ran its course. Amusingly enough, everybody thought PUBG was going to be on top of the mountain for a while. Warzone came in, and with Black Ops. No, not Black Ops, but actually, yeah, Modern Warfare 4 or whatever like that.
Are you talking about Blackout?
Yes, the Blackout. That turned into Warzone. Yeah. But yeah, Battle Royale, you can't just crap out 100-player massive battle game and say, "Hey, we're ready." It's gotta have something. It's gotta have something to keep people in.
So, based on the video I've seen, the Ghost Recon Frontlines, my question definitely came up with like, why did they not start with that first as like their first Battle Royale game to come out? I think that would have been an easier game to transition with people than Hyperscape. I think Hyperscape was a little bit too ambitious and going way too sci-fi-ish. But for this particular one, it also looks like it has different modes other than just a 100-player, free-to-play Battle Royale. And I think people are still having that bad taste out of their mouth since the game before that, right? That just did not do well compared to the one before that. I'm sorry, I don't remember all the names for them. But
yeah.
But I guess that's the only one I can think of, because I guess Ghost Recon needs something different since Rainbow Six is doing something different with their stuff. Since now they have the quarantine, they're like, let's use Ghost Recon for this idea. It just makes you think like, what other titles are they going to try to mix brands with? Like, is Assassin's Creed going to get a remix of something later that we know?
It was inevitable that Ghost Recon, they would try and flip something, because the biggest thing is Ubisoft's looking at all that money that they could be making.
I'm surprised Far Cry didn't get the Battle Royale treatment.
Honestly, Far Cry, it would have to tone the graphics way, way down, because I don't know. Far Cry, it seems a little too busy.
The only reason I said that because it's always set in a closed environment place anyways. Like 3 was on an island only. The 6 is on an island only. So
5
it makes sense.
Montana.
Yeah. So it makes sense why it might not be the right choice, but it has the different set. It has the setup for it. So
probably they consider Far Cry. I theorize that they consider Far Cry a little bit more of a treasured property that they don't want to take certain risks with, because we all saw what happened when they did Far Cry Primal.
Okay.
But Ghost Recon is one of those series where they can just say, sure, try that. Sure, try that. They got the Tom Clancy franchise the Tom Clancy license on lock. There was always going to be a Ghost Recon. and this is probably something they were working on that's run off of the old not Frontline, Breakout or whatever engine. So, and you would think they would have done that, but maybe they were busy with their Rainbow Six stuff, because Rainbow Six Siege is still big. It's still going.
And then Outbreak or Quarantine, I forgot what it is.
Quarantine, I believe.
Yeah, that one's just around the corner coming out.
Oh, I think they renamed it. It's not Quarantine anymore because they want to be sensitive.
Yeah, I
so
thought it was
else.
Yeah, give or take. That one's like the next one up to this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at least it's free to play, so people can give it a try. And to tell you the truth, Ghost Recon you might be right. Ghost Recon is probably the best choice to try this out. If it doesn't work out, it's not going to hurt what Ghost Recon's already hurt by anyways, right?
Exactly.
So, the one thing I'm kind of curious is how they're going to limit the technology, because Ghost Recon uses a lot of technology compared to Rainbow Six. You know what I mean? So
it uses a lot of personnel, personnel UAVs, cameras,
drones.
Gadgets. Yeah, I mean, Rainbow Six uses some of that too, but it's in a more tightly confined space because it's like 5v5.
Right.
So the balancing would be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing. I don't think they couldn't handle, especially if they keep it real simple. I mean, hell, PUBG, that buggy cheat-filled mess is still going strong, and they're adding all sorts of stuff to it, and people are still playing it. So
yeah, okay,
yeah.
And we do not have a date for that yet, do we?
Let's see.
Pretty
Ghost
sure it's
Recon.
2022.
Let me check the interwebs. The release date for that, they're doing a closed test next week in Europe.
Okay.
But they haven't announced any North American tests or betas yet. So I wouldn't expect it until start of next year at the earliest.
Okay. All right.
So, no Christmas blitz for them.
They need to make sure they get it right, I guess. Question mark. Yeah. So
they're trying to get it to where it's acceptable.
There
you know how it's going to be. It's like, we're developing. Yes, we go.
There you go. What's next?
And less appealing news. Earlier this week, it was announced Twitch was.
We're on
hacked.
Twitch.
Yeah. Twitch was hacked and information was leaked. They said they don't think any passwords were leaked, but source code got out, and who knows what else they can do with that source code. So I already changed my Twitch password and implemented an additional factor authentication. So I'm 3-factor authentication, and I advise what friends of mine would listen to reset their passwords. But the biggest thing is all this leaked payout information for Twitch streamers.
By the way, just to let people know, it was 128 gigs of information that was you could find a torrent about it, and I think it first got talked about on 4chan.
Of course, 4chan. Where
4chan is like the forbidden zone to me. Like if it's out there, if it's in there, it's like, oh, that's not good.
4chan is chaotic neutral at best.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, 128 gigs, a full install of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War worth of information got leaked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like, we're not even going to do that's just going to be the measurement for sizes from now on.
So
how many Call of Duties is it?
So based on, I'm not going to read through all the information. I just saw highlights, but based on the highlights I've seen, I'm not going to drop names. But let me tell you, good for them. Good for them. Good for them for making that money.
They're grabbing it back. What's funny is that there's various reactions for people. Some are saying, okay, now everybody shut the hell up about saying, oh, booby streamers are taking all the money, because they're not. Mm-hmm. Like Amaranth is up there. She's like, I think top 30 or whatever. Like the payout list is from 2019 to now, or now-ish. And
just to give you a ballpark, you're looking at more than $1 million.
For some people, you're looking at more than 10 million.
Yeah, for some people. Yeah.
Critical Role is at the top, like 14 million, 14 plus. Then XQC, which I've never even heard of that person's existence.
I love it that we're not going to say names, but here we go.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good. We already burned the bridge. Let's keep going. Yeah.
Yes,
so Critical Role.
those people.
Yeah.
We can't work with those people. Anyways,
yeah.
So
that makes sense for Critical Role.
Various people.
That makes sense for Critical Role because you're dealing with a group of people, not a single person, right? So that makes a lot of sense. But for your single people,
they are a business.
They are. But just your individual people, still good money for them.
Well, that's the thing, and this is not counting sponsorships, brand deals, and other deals that they have with computer companies and equipment and everything like that. And you know what? Cool. That's a lot of potential money they have. I hope their accountant is doing right by them, because otherwise, Papa IRS is coming.
Yeah. The one thing I think there's a giant clash, because you're going to get the jealous people that saying that, I've been doing Twitch for so long and I'm not getting paid that much and everything like that. And I said this before to a friend of mine because he wanted to get in Twitch to see how far he goes. I said, it's a commitment, man. It's a long road. And if it's easy to make that money, that's why everybody's in it.
Yeah.
You got competition. Not everybody's going to make it there.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Why are you getting into the streaming in the first place? Is it to make money? Well, I mean, as means it sounds, don't quit your day job quite yet. Mm-hmm. Some of these people have been doing it for 5, 6, all the way 10 plus years. And some of them built their audience through Twitch. Others built their audience through, YouTube. And then they moved over to Twitch. Like I could stream every day for the next year, and I probably wouldn't even have a fraction of that. And I understand that. So, I mean, yeah, cool. Good for them. Get your money. But don't let me ever catch you acting poor or you need
right.
Whatever goals. I better not see goals, period. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, donate to this. It's like, no. You can have a subscriber drive. That's cool. But don't act poor. Don't act poor. I think the meme was acted broke to stay rich.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. No,
you're not hungry. You're not hungry.
No, because people, I think, even when I do it, I stream sometimes on here, I can understand that, like, sitting here for millions of hours playing this game, it's just not for me. It's just not for me to just sit there for a long time. For people that can, and they have fun talking to their audience and everything, that's cool. Good for them. But me sitting there in one place doing that, it's just definitely not for me to do every single day. So, kudos for people, because they're saying this is not hard work. It is hard work in a weird way. Mentally.
You have to be entertaining. You have to be entertaining for hours on end. Like, I can only stand to do 2 hours at a time if I stream. 2, 3, maybe 3 if it's a good day. And there's like people to interact with. But even when there's nobody there, you still got to act like you got to talk. You got to be entertaining. It's not just you got to play a game and stare at the camera and click. You got to be entertaining. You got to read stuff that's on the screen. You got to basically speak what's on your mind. Like, oh man, that's cool. It would have been cooler if they did this or whatever.
Yeah. If you're not playing the hottest game, you got to be more entertaining. If you're playing the hottest, you can be a little entertaining. Like, you have to balance it all out how you're going to do that. And the fact, if you're getting sponsored, you're locked in. You're going to have you gotta keep going, even if you don't want to do it one day.
Exactly.
And that can tire you out, man.
Yeah, especially if you're not making enough to support yourself. You still got to do your day job stuff. You got to like have a schedule. It's like, okay, I just worked 8, 9, 10 hours at this job. Now I got to come home, 30 minutes, eat something real quick or whatever, and then I got to get on a stream for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
Or, I'm doing a subscriber drive, so on the weekend, so I'm doing a 24-hour stream. 24 hours. That's to borrow a phrase from someone I live with, that's fucking bonkers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you think about these people making this money, this is not, to me, honestly, not like, part of it could be a lucky day, but they worked hard to get to that lucky day, weirdly enough, right? It's not like they just stream one day and they're like, millions. No, it's like...
It's time, motivation, it's time, motivation, and there is some luck. I'm not even going to try and swipe. There is a good portion that is luck. It is luck that is a greater portion than some people even admit to, but it's a lot. It's a commitment. It's a heavy commitment.
So basically, I would say before jumping onto somebody and you find out they make much money, why don't you ask them how long you've been streaming before you start making money, and then kind of come with your own opinion of it? Because they tell you it took them years to get to this point.
Yeah. Then again, if I in the last 2 years or a year and a half or whatever, it brought in like $8 million, and someone's still trying to spew hate at me, I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of how much money I have. Sorry, I can't hear you. Thanks for engaging me.
But real talk, I'm probably maybe I'm just being real with myself here. If I made that much money, I'd probably stop and move on with my life. Like, hey, I got what I want. I got $2 million. I'll move on. Yeah, I could make more money. I could. But at the same time, I can use that to invest in something else and then go do something else. Now that's just me. That's just me saying that. But we'll see if I ever get $2 million in my face if I have that same answer when it happens.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing.
That's right.
It's like, what's your commitment with your sponsors? What's your brand deal?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
for a year, 2
I
years,
always believe that you really don't know the answer until it happens to you. But sometimes I like to try to predict myself of, if I had $2 million, I'll probably jump out. But I never had $2 million to tell you that story.
Yeah. I mean,
so,
I will tell you this. If I was at that spot, I would be like some of these other more enterprising streamers, and I'm spinning off my own brand, my own merch.
I can see that. I get what you're going, yeah.
Getting to the point where I don't need sponsors. I don't need to go after sponsors. My stuff is already making its money. I am the brand that people are slapping on a chair. They're asking me if they can slap on a chair. Or I am the brand that people are asking me if they can do a collab with a keyboard or a mouse. That's where I'd be angling towards. But that, once again, that is years and years and years.
Yeah.
That's a lot of commitment. And the smart streamers are doing that because, I'm sorry, I don't want to stream for the rest of my life. I don't want to stream for the rest of my life. If I start at 19 years old, I'm 29 and I'm sitting pretty. I'm stashing so much of that away to where I could just say, all right, well, my last contract obligation is done. It's been fun, guys, but signing out.
Right.
And the last sound they hear is, I'm rich, bitch.
Right. But also on top of that, not only that we learned about how much some of the streamers are making, but we heard there were some projects in between there that were in the making. I guess didn't work out. Like another streaming service, I think, that were talked about they were going to do on top of Twitch that Amazon was planning to do. Some collaborations with stuff. If you can go to 4chan, or you can look at some other sites. They'll probably give you more information about that. But with that, sorry for people that got that stuff leaked out. And, be careful with your information and stuff. Because like I was telling them off the air, Google Chrome got hit with some stuff. So definitely look up information about the Google Chrome browser kind of hacked.
I mean, it's not their fault stuff got leaked. It's Twitch and Amazon. You would think Amazon, who has a whole services platform, would secure Twitch a little bit better. But then again, they can't even secure Twitch from
Nah. Jefferson space player.
Yeah. Bezos is doing billionaire Star Trek.
I said at my job today, I said, if you are so rich and you decide you want to go to space, I think you're a dick.
I would say there are more effective things you could be doing with that money.
You're a dick.
Yeah. I mean, on one hand, it would be amusing to have a couple of billionaires so rich they could just go eccentric, crazy experiments. But unfortunately, it's never anything that's interesting. Like, if Bezos were truly like a Lex Luthor is greedy and power hungry, but he knows how to shape his image to where it's like, hey, I'm using this millions and I'm making this housing thing for blah, 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 blah. Housing thousands of people, low cost housing, and is up to date technological and blah, blah, blah. By the way, I'm running for president. But no, it's like, I could tolerate this a lot more if billionaires were interesting with their exploits. It's like, oh, space. Yeah. Been there, done. That's been done since the 60s. Big deal. It's like, colonize the moon, smart ass. Colonize the moon, and then we'll
give us your rapture. Make us a rapture.
Yeah. It's like, throw something on the moon, and actually have a space elevator or passengers. It's like, all right, I'll accept that you exploit your workers a little bit if they're being exploited on the moon. Give me some Total Recall. Go to Mars.
Oh man, the world's not ready for that.
It's almost 2022. Where's my Total Recall?
Thanks, Futurama. All right, what's next?
Well, sip of water first. Then Kingdom Hearts game. So this ties into the bigger thing, but Kingdom Hearts games are coming to Switch in a cloud version.
And let's stop there with a brand new segment I like to call Damn It, You Were This Close. And in this segment, we talk about situations where, like, you did the right thing, but you didn't do it right. And today we talk about Kingdom Hearts. So in our main segment, we'll be talking about a certain character, but Kingdom Hearts 3 finally got announced on Switch after people were begging. After Kingdom Hearts had made so much home to the Nintendo, starting with the Game Boy Advance with Chains of Memories, and then everything else from there, right?
Yeah.
And yet,
drop distance, all that.
Yeah, while PlayStation got all the main entries and all that stuff, and then later on we're getting 3, and now Xbox is getting all the Kingdom Hearts, and that leaves Switch out again. But now that changed, since now they said that we're going to give you not just 1, not 2, but 3. And we're giving you the HD edition, the 2.5, and the second one, 2.8 or whatever.
Yeah,
with
1.5,
everything.
2.5, 2.8, 3,
yeah,
all of it.
All of it. And it's in cloud. So, my question for you is, why didn't they just give us the first 2 on, digitally, and then the third one on cloud?
That's a good question. All I can speculate is maybe they ran into some, I don't know, memory or resource issues. Once again, I'm going back to if they could do it with The Witcher 3, they should be able to do it with a couple of PlayStation 2 games.
Here's the bad part about it, right? This is Square Enix. So you managed to put so many HD editions of a PlayStation 2 game on there. Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy 12.
10, 2, 12.
Yeah.
Pocket edition of 15.
Yeah. So there to me was no way excuse. Especially some of those games were on the Nintendo. Like Dream Drop Distance that was on the DS.
Mm-hmm.
Or 3DS. Sorry, 3DS.
I have my theory, and this goes back to what we talked about 2 weeks ago. The cloud versions of these games, we might be seeing more cloud versions because they're gearing up for I hate that I'm contributing to this, but a Switch Pro, a more performance enhanced Switch. And they're covering their butts.
Could be.
I mean, we got the OLED that just dropped today.
Mm-hmm. Well, as we speak, by the time this episode's out, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. On the 8th.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're gearing up. There's cloud version, and when you get whatever, you'll be able to go up into the cloud and pull the whole games down, and then you'll be able to play it all. Because otherwise, that is completely defeating the purpose of the portability of the Switch.
Mm-hmm. And you get a lot of people that are saying, "Well, it's not that big of a deal." It's like, yeah, when you step out of your house, then let me know.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, unless you live in South Korea or very metropolitan areas of Japan, you got to shut the hell up about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because America is the United States, I should say, is very hit and miss when it comes to internet.
Yeah,
I got friends who are paying for 200 up and 10 down and are barely getting 50 up and 2 down. Or I'm sorry, strike that, reverse it. 50 down and 2 up. So yeah, internet, the broadband availability here is not what it should be. Not to mention you still get data caps.
Mm.
So you get a $400 cable bill or internet bill just because you finished Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's a damn shame because now it's with Control, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Resident Evil 7, all these games those games are a great example of why it makes sense to make a cloud base for those. But only Kingdom Hearts 3 is the only one I have seen. But you still got the last entry, the musical one you can play. So enjoy that one.
Yeah. And I mean that's fine, and that's fine. There's people who are still going to partake in Kingdom Hearts for the Nintendo Switch, but I really hope there's a sign they're leading up to something bigger. They're working with Nintendo closely and leading up to something bigger, because otherwise this is an oof moment.
Now, if you have the OLED, then you might get a better experience, since now you can use a LAN cord to do the cloud gaming. Hey, it's better than wireless in that aspect.
I mean, they still have adapters you could have gotten for the regular Switch, but this is actually built in.
Yeah, but hey, this one's connected to a newer one. Might be cheaper in the long run. Maybe I'm not 100% sure.
And apparently they improved it. I heard, but now that it's out in the wild, we'll really get to see some tests.
Yeah, but man, damn it. They were this close for getting it right. We were right there as for people that Nintendo fans have been asking for so long. And the fact that we go right into our main segment that dropped the news of Sora from Kingdom Hearts is now in Smash Brothers, as we end the saga that is the Smash Brothers, right? 3 years Sakurai has given us abundant of characters, some that were pretty obvious they were going to come, to some surprise factors and whatnot. And you have to give him credit, because I think I was watching somebody, I think it was Maximilian Dude or something like that he said that there's only a few games get this much love for that long, right? DLC wise.
Consistently.
Yeah, consistently, right? So that's really awesome of Nintendo and Sakurai for pushing to get all these characters, especially the character that got the most popular vote in a ballot a long time ago.
Yeah, like back during the Wii U.
Yeah, that brought us into Sora, which, by the way, you were correct. I do not want to assume that you heard a leak and then made that guess. I want to know that came from the heart, no pun intended, that you said Sora was going to be the choice for that.
I'm just saying it was logic. It was pure logic.
Oh, okay.
Pure logic. Now remember, I made this guess how long ago?
Last episode on our Nintendo Direct episode.
I'll be honest, I did not really pay any attention to the Smash scene in general.
Mm-hmm.
I just said, nah, Sora is the most logical, because it's got the games, it's got the legacy, and people have been clamoring for Sora since the Wii U. No, actually, probably before that.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a lock. So I didn't start hearing leaks or anything until earlier this week, late last week.
So the battle was 6 years ago, apparently, if I was looking it up right. And so it took 6 years to do it. And when Sora got announced with his opening of him opening the keyhole and everything like that, the first thing someone said, and I didn't know why I didn't catch onto it at first, that the intro of it felt like it was a Dark Souls. The fire in the middle and the darkness. Like I think that's easy mistakable. Because Mario put his hand on the fire, it looked like it would have been, one of those moments, right? I think it's an easy mistakable answer. I can understand.
Some people see what they want to see.
But you don't. Oh, you disagree. You're saying all darkness. You see this fire in the middle. You would not assume that people would think that it was Dark Souls to you.
No. I'm not saying I don't think people would make that assumption. I'm just saying people who make that assumption are seeing what they want to see. They wanted to see Dark Souls. They wanted to see Dark Souls.
I guess. I just think the setup for what it was. I think they did the whole Duck Hunt Banjo-Kazooie to you. They thought it was dark. They made it look like it was Dark Souls, but it wasn't. So, I
see
think
fire. Dark Souls is the last thing I think of when I see fire.
Well, when it comes to darkness and just a fire sticking out, Dark Souls, I think, is the game that people will relate that to, because you use fire for everything. To level up, to travel, whatever. Never thought of Kingdom Hearts. You grab it and throw it and it becomes a keychain. No one thought of that. I would have never thought of that.
I looked at it as the fire, the passion of.
Oh, now who's doing that? Right. That's what you wanted to see.
We got the answer now, so I mean, mine makes a little bit more sense.
Whatever. I honestly thought the way they would do it, it's like either they see a keyhole from a distance or something like that, and then it opens up, and that would be Kingdom Hearts. But it's whatever. So we get Sora coming out, just flying around like Peter Pan, and then we get his intro of all the moves that you get to see. The one thing that you notice is you can tell how hard they work to get Sora on there because of all the things they had to cut to get him on there, right? Yeah. There is no Disney whatsoever in anything. Other than that keychain with Mickey Mouse, you don't see anything. They reshaped his logo with Donald and Goofy and changed it to Kairi and Riku. To the stages of Halabaston, you couldn't get any Disney. And I thought a lot of people probably thought, and I thought so too, I thought maybe his special, his overdrive move or whatever you want to call it, his smash move, would be Donald and Goofy coming out with him doing a trio combo on somebody. I would thought that Disney would be fine with Disney characters beating up on somebody, but not being beat up on. Or at least have them in the background of some sort. You know what I mean? Like, I thought they would be, like, somewhere in the background, like, cheering him on, like Mickey Mouse cheering up and everything like that. But this just wasn't the case. Maybe people are disappointed. To me, I don't think it was that big of a deal. But it does kind of stink that, that they're not there regardless. It's a disappointment, but it's not the end of the world.
Well, you gotta sacrifice a little bit. And to be honest, if you think Nintendo's super protective of their properties, Disney is really protective of their properties. Mm-hmm. And I think the saving grace of that is that Square Enix, Nintendo and Square Enix have a good working relationship. So that made things a lot easier to, smooth over. I don't think it's good to the point where we're going to get Final Fantasy 16 on the Switch, at least at launch.
Or it's going to be cloud-based.
I mean, by the time it comes out, maybe it'll be a title that drops same day with the new Switch. Whatever. Disney, I'm not surprised. If you got Sora, you're just getting Sora. Mm-hmm. Be glad you got that damn Keyblade too. But and I see little memes and everything where people saying, "Oh, they probably had to drop at least a couple million just for that Mickey Mouse keychain to appear."
Possibly.
Yeah. But I mean, you get Sora, you get his costumes from the various mainline games and Dream Drop Distance. You even get the Disney-fied Timeless River version of him. Which he's drawn in the classic Disney style.
Steamboat Willie.
That's cool.
Steamboat Willie style.
Yes, Steamboat Willie. Mickey Mouse's first appearance.
So yeah, you can definitely tell that because every other costume was definitely a license per se. So you're not going to get the Nightmare Before Christmas. You're not going to get Monster Inc. You're not getting anything. That was probably the only costume that they could actually have him for that. Weirdly enough,
you want that? Go buy a cloud version of Kingdom Hearts.
Hell, even the Keyblades. You would think that he would have a different assorted of Keyblades for maybe different costumes or whatever, but it couldn't. The imagination they would have had if they had open range of what they can do with it, I bet they would have gone crazy with it. But overall, in your thoughts, even though Sora, you got the guess right, it was Sora. What's your thoughts on it? Did you think Sora was a good choice to end this? What's your thoughts?
I think choosing a character that majority of fans have been clamoring for years is always a good choice for the final fighter. I almost wish it was Waluigi, but Sora is kind of like that situation of it makes the most sense. It's probably going to be that, but it shouldn't be that because it's too obvious. But at the same time, it's not always a bad thing to give someone the obvious choice because it is sending them home happy. I have next to no dog in the fight because I don't have any of the fighter passes. Mm-hmm. But I think it's sending a bunch of people home happy. Have you seen? Okay, let me throw it back to you. Have you seen some of the reaction videos of people reacting to Sora's reveal?
Some. Here and there.
Men and women crying.
Yeah, but they're not. That's not the only character I've seen people cry for either. So I couldn't really say that because
I shed a tear for Solid Snake many years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody will shed a tear for a character today. I mean, I don't know if it's bigger than Banjo-Kazooie's. People lost their minds when it was Banjo-Kazooie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, he's come back home.
Yeah, which we'll get into our favorite reveals of over time for that. But I think Sora, like, I don't really care in that point. I mean, I thought Sora was going to come. Actually, I thought Sora was going to come a long time ago, to tell you the truth. I didn't think he was going to be a final, but it makes sense because I think it catered to the East and the West, because that the lineup of these characters was definitely catered to the East and the West picks. I mean, let's be honest here. Like, in the Japan front, Marth, Roy,
yeah,
definitely
since Smash Brawl. It's
always been those two, Dragon Quest, Swordsman, even I would even throw Xenoblade in there. Even though it's kind of popular here, I think it's way popular over there.
You've got almost all the major RPGs main protagonists in Smash Brothers.
Yeah. And Sora, along with probably Fire Emblem 2, besides Marth and Roy, I feel like that you kind of get the middle ground. Sora's the middle ground of it all to bring it home. That's why it's kind of cool to see them shake hands, because you kind of got like that meat right there. That was pretty cool. So yeah, I think Sora just kind of made that middle ground that made sense for, like, hey, both sides love it. I mean, you got the very Japanese of Final Fantasy, and you got the Disney that America loves. Boom.
I mean, and Dragon Quest, I'm actually somewhat surprised that didn't get dropped sooner, because in Japan, Dragon Quest is more popular than Final Fantasy.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
Oh, hands down.
But
before a Fire Emblem?
Sephiroth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, it's Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Fire Emblem, probably. Mm. But it's I went ahead and also asked our Twitch audience, but what are they disappointed with the final character or not? But I will say, Sora, like I said, it's a great compromise, good choice. You sent the crowd home happy. To borrow some wrestling vernacular, you always got to send the audience home happy.
Yeah. So it's over. It's ended.
Yep. Smash Brothers is done.
Yeah, it's all packed up with 89 characters. I think they said about 89.
Yes, 89 characters.
Yeah. So that's a lot. Jaron, did you think they were going to get that far? Did you honestly thought they were going to get to 89? You thought it was going to be ended sooner?
I didn't know if it was going to be ended sooner, but with a name like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, I knew it was going to. I mean, the initial release had all the characters that they revealed all the way through the Wii U game, and the fact that they said they were going to release more, I was like, okay, well, this is going to get pretty ridiculous, because even then it was like 50 some odd characters already at the jump. So I think they added like 30 more. Yeah,
and you can actually maybe cut that in half if you want to count the shadow characters of certain characters. Your Daisy, your Richter, your Kin, if you want to. I'm saying if you want to.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're shadow characters. They're echo characters to a degree, but their moves are just different enough. Mm-hmm. I mean, you could say that with Dark Samus. You could say that with well, I'm not going to say Sephiroth and Cloud, because they play completely different from what I've seen.
I would say Link. I'd say Young Link to
Young Link and Toon Link.
Yeah. Well, now they change it. Now you get the Breath of the Wild Link in this edition, but like the ones before that, it was like Young Link,
Adult Link. Young Link, and then in the later versions, you also had Toon Link.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So now you have Link, which whatever latest version of Legend of Zelda, you still have Young Link, Toon Link, and I think that's those are the three Links, and then they separated Sheik out to a different character.
Separate those two. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a transform. So now Zelda is a little bit more fleshed out as her own character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's been very interesting. I honestly thought it was going to end sooner. I didn't think we were going to get another pass, honestly, because like Max said, like 3 years, that's a lot, and most fighting games don't get that much. So I thought, hey, cool, we get the first 5 and then we move on with our lives. But I think that this game And I could be 100% wrong.
There are a few fighting games that got that much support that long, like Tekken, Street Fighter, couple of them, but something like Smash Brothers was
okay. So let me put it like this: was that many picks for that year? Because I imagine when they go 3 years, it's maybe one, maybe 2 a year for each one.
Tekken, like I'll use Tekken for example. It came out, I think, in the arcades in 2016-ish. Maybe early 2017. They came to the consoles later in 2017. And then they did a season 1 pass, I think, in 2018. Season 2 in 2019, 3 in 2020, 4 later in 2020, all the way till like earlier this year.
Okay.
And that's it. But so, like I said, that's not common, but it's not uncommon.
So for me, I still stand that Smash Bros. I didn't think it was going to go that far. I honestly thought it was going to be.
Me neither.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be just maybe like 5 characters extra, and then we move on. And I thought, they made so much money they could. That's maybe the reason why they want to keep going with it. I guess to keep it alive, so they get more money out of it and stuff like that.
If you get $20 every time someone buys something you make, you're probably going to keep making stuff until you get tired of it.
Right.
But Sakurai deserves a long vacation.
Yeah. Heck, you don't need to touch a video game for a very long time, unless he wants to make another Kid Icarus game.
Or maybe he takes a year off and says, "You know what? I'm reinvigorated. I'm coming out with, like you said, another Kid Icarus, or I'm taking over the Star Fox franchise."
Good luck with that.
We're going to get a Star Fox Zero next year.
Well, you got Sora, right? So we'll see if that next one comes up.
A Star Fox Zero Deluxe or whatever the hell you want to call it. We're going to get it next year. I don't know when, but just there's been some rumblings and some tests, and we're going to get it.
Okay.
We're going to get it.
Hopefully they'll fix a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the characters they have announced all the way to now that were your favorite ones. Like either it was your favorite reveal. Well, actually, it's all of it. So your favorite reveal and all that. What characters were you so happy to hear about that came to this game? And then later on, we'll get into characters that we wish they were on there but just never came. And they deserve to be there. We'll call it they deserve to be there.
Are we saying exclusively Ultimate, or are we saying across the line?
Ultimate, because all of them made across the line.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, but they were all announced, like, some of them.
No, just your favorite reveal regardless. Okay. Just your favorite reveal regardless.
Regardless.
Yeah, because it's the Ultimate End, so it's everything. I don't care
I was among the happiest to see Sonic the Hedgehog.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, but that's what caused me to buy the Wii version. But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, and then Solid Snake. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Those were my tied for my favorites. But that's because I thought it was overdue for Sonic because they'd been teaming together on Olympic Games.
They've been rivals since the beginning. Yeah. It's like he deserves to be there.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I wish they played up the whole rival thing a little bit more, but still.
Yeah, me too.
I would say those two primarily. I was amused when they dropped some of Castlevania. I thought it was a no-brainer.
It was one of those. It's about time.
Exactly.
Like I was hyped for the Belmont. I was hyped. I was like, he deserves to be there. And it's like it took this long to get him in here. I honestly thought he was going to be in Melee like a long time ago.
You would think he would have been in there before Solid Snake got in there.
I agree.
But yeah, so Ridley from Metroid.
I didn't really care for that one, but I get it. But I didn't like their excuse either at first why they wouldn't put him in there, and then they did it.
Yeah, it's like, okay. And King K. Rool from Donkey Kong Country.
I'm surprised it didn't come sooner.
Yeah, I mean, I put it this way. I look at the formula this way. Every Smash Brothers protagonist has to some form have their rival, some form or like one of their rivals or antagonists. Mario has Bowser, and then the offshoots like Bowser Jr. Star Fox has Star Wolf.
Yeah, because there's no way to get Andros as a playable character, so yeah.
No, yeah, it's like
so Star Wolf is like the best we got.
Yeah, Star Wolf's a rival. Link has Ganondorf. Link and Zelda have Ganondorf.
Mm-hmm.
Samus should have Ridley. Freaking Kirby got King Dedede.
Yeah,
Day-to-Day.
It's funny that Captain Falcon. I don't know Captain Falcon's rival.
Nobody's his rival. Everybody's his rival.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't recall. Like, maybe someone can fill us in. Like, does Captain Falcon really?
Now
have
it's
a rival?
funny you say that because Fire Emblem never got a villain.
No, it did not, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Which is interesting, mostly because a lot of their villains were metaphysical, or they just didn't really stick out. Like, I mean, not that their villains were forgettable.
I'll give you that, but there are some characters I believe that put in that game. At the same time, even good people like Nez. I mean, no one knew who they were.
Who was going to be Ness's rival? Like,
Nez didn't have a rival. He was saving the world from just an evil being, but that evil being is too big for the screen.
What about that jackass that betrayed him? That Porky guy.
He merges with the main villain, and he becomes this monster, this huge ass monster.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it wouldn't work. His name is Piggy, something like that. I could be 100% wrong.
Yeah, maybe it is Piggy. I wanted to say
in the
Piggy,
comments. Let me know if I said that wrong. So
yeah, I was like, Piggy. That sounds too much like Lord of the Flies.
I know, right? So I could be 100% wrong on that, but yeah, I mean, that wouldn't work.
Yeah, so I mean, going off of the original Smash Brothers crew, like half of them eventually got their rivals. Donkey Kong didn't get King K. Rool until the Wii U, I think.
No, it was Ultimate.
No,
it was
Ultimate.
Ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ultimate.
It was Ultimate.
So yeah, he didn't even get his rival until then.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, shit.
Yeah, I mean, through that time, Donkey Kong never got Dixie, never got Cranky, never got anybody until K. Rool came. So
yeah, I mean, when you think Donkey Kong Country, more often than not, you're going to think Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, which
I get you.
In the game.
I get you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Kirby and King Day-to-Day and Meta Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Fire Emblem, there's not really the only ones I could think of is maybe if Corrin got like one of his family members from the Fire Emblem Fates games,
mm-hmm.
but that wouldn't jive well. So I don't know.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, you did. That was the main thing to me was you have your main character and you have to have the villain like in this game, right? Wherever it is, and then everybody else is extra. The only other extra characters was the Cloud and Sephiroth, right? They were the only other DLC that actually you had actual rivals in DLC form like that. Like Snake never got a rival in the DLC later.
Yeah, I mean
Sonic didn't either.
That would make sense would be Liquid Snake. And
yeah,
would be an Echo
but
Fighter.
Sonic, Dr. Robotnik didn't get invited to the party. I mean,
yeah, that. I mean, I say if you want to be lazy, Echo Fighter, Shadow the Hedgehog, or Metal Sonic. So
that's true.
But
I think DLC Echo Fighters doesn't make sense unless Simon Belmont came in a pack, right?
Yes,
that's the difference. That's the difference.
Richter, Simon and Richter.
Yeah, they were together in one, right? It wasn't like out of the four you got Simon, and then the next reveal is Richter, and then I think it came together like that.
A major middle finger.
Yeah, so I think it only works like with Sonic. Shadow has to be there in that pack with them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
What's interesting, and the reason I say rival instead of like villain, is because Kirby and King Day-to-Day, they were more. I mean, they were rival. Like King Day-to-Day would do something stupid, Kirby had to go fix it. Same thing with Meta Knight. You know, they weren't necessarily evil. They were just they had their own motivations.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with what's his face? That's why I say Ken and Ryu from Street Fighter. If you want to cheat, you could say, okay, well, they're rivals, kind of, but you know, I don't. There's so many freaking characters. I mean, Kid Icarus, he got Dark Pit and Palutena. But she's not a rival. She was.
That's true, and the fact Dark Pit was created later on, and he wasn't in the original one because you would get the Eggplant Wizard.
That actually would have been pretty cool.
That's the character you would have got from Kid Icarus if you wanted to do subpar villain, because he wasn't the main villain. The main villain was a god. I forgot who it was. Maybe it was Hades, I think. But regardless, though.
Medusa.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Eggplant Wizard would have been a great pick for that. I thought Mega Man was a great reveal when that first came.
That was another one that was like, it's kind of overdue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mega Man's been a Nintendo staple. Mega Man's been a staple mostly on Nintendo since the original.
Yeah. So, and plus he had a really cool intro with his on the mountain, and then you got to see him change his moves up and like almost cut. That's the thing I liked about the videos. They weren't afraid to go to the edge of their own characters. Like, are you willing to get this close for Mario getting his butt kicked to make this character look shine for a minute? Sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? That's cool.
Sometimes you got to put someone over.
Yeah, and sometimes I love the inside jokes, like what they did with Sephiroth killing Mario. Almost. And it was like the sword was right on his suspenders. And I was like, okay, that's a cool little trick. I like that. I like that.
Oh my God, you killed Mario.
Yeah, I like that. Even though it's an F you the Aerith. But regardless though, that was cool that Nintendo was willing to have fun with their own characters to do that. I mean, hell, even when Simon Belmont's video, Luigi got his soul taken away by the Grim Reaper.
Yes. Yeah, but Luigi was always getting, screwed over.
True, but it's just the fact that like they went that far. It's really cool what they did. And each trailer, it just got a lot crazier as it go. I have to rewatch all the video again to see which one is the most craziest one, because hell, even such and such from Tekken. Sorry, I forgot his name.
Kazuya.
Yeah, throwing people off the cliff. Yeah. Sadly enough, they didn't do it to Ryu, but it is what it is.
But the fact that you could have 3 different fighting series characters face off against each other in a separate fighting game.
Yeah.
You have Kazuya fight Ryu, fight Terry Bogard.
Yeah.
In a Smash Brothers game,
Yeah, and you could definitely tell Terry Bogard was definitely Sakurai's personal pick. He's like, I don't care what anybody says. I'm getting my pick in.
He's like, I've been doing this for years.
Yeah, I'll get my Terry.
I still love how irked you got when Byleth from Fire Emblem was revealed.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was lidded because I think like everybody else, there were just too many Fire Emblem characters. Like, we get it. But it should not be more popular than a lot of these characters. Like, how many Fire Emblems are in there? 5?
Let's see. I got the whole list in front of me. Let's see. We got Byleth. We got Marth. We got Lucina. We got Roy. We got Chrom. We got Ike. So that's
Ike, 6. Yeah. And it's like, golly.
Robin. That's 7.
So, yeah. It's like, that's a little.
Oh, Corrin. That's 8.
So, is Rob. Yeah. You're right. But still, like, look at that. You could, if you cut half of that, then like 4 of those extra spots could have been extra characters, right? That's like, it is what it is. But at the same time, it's like, man, they have their own bracket over there.
Yeah. It's like, all right, no items, Fire Emblem characters only.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason.
Characters are their own roster.
And I think the other reason was it was back to back. That's another thing too. Like the Fire Emblem characters was like, here's one, a Fire Emblem. Here's another one, Fire Emblem. Another one, Fire Emblem. And I think that's what annoyed a lot of people. And so because of that, any character comes out of that with a sword, people just get pissed because it's the fact we just had a sword character. Can you think outside the freaking box? So
Sora's technically a sword character.
He is, right? He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, it's not called a key stick. It's called a key blade.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
People didn't get pissed about that.
No, because it's a key. And he opens our heart. I guess. Why not?
Pac-Man was a no-brainer,
Yes, Pac-Man was a no-brainer. Pac-Man should have been there a long time ago though, but yeah, Pac-Man was definitely a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. It was funny. Isabelle one of the DLC
I
characters.
like that one.
Yeah. And what's funny is that they dropped that on the same
day,
around the same date. Doom.
Yeah.
Doom Eternal. So there's somebody's like, Isabelle's hardcore like Doom.
Yeah. No, I loved it because at first everybody was upset because Isabelle was like, we wasted a character on another Animal Crossing character. And at the same time, like Isabelle had a really good video. for what she does. So it kind of
Yes.
turned people around. Because it was like, oh, okay, they're really having fun with her. Okay.
And people are like, "Oh, you're wasting a character on another Animal Crossing." Keep in mind, we're already at number 7 Fire Emblem characters. Like we had already had Corrin, because I have a list here. Isabel was number 68. Corrin was number 62. You know, and between Isabel and Corrin, you got Bayonetta, Inkling, Ridley, Simon, and Richter, King K. Rool.
I like the fact that Bayonetta got announced. I think ever since Nintendo got, you know, the licensing rights to make it exclusive over there, I think it was a no-brainer. Bayonetta was going to come. It was just a moment of win. But I'm glad she made it. I'm glad she made it. So
yeah, no, it made sense. It was just oh, cool. They even have this where you can display it by series, so you can see like how many Super Mario, you know, how many were in Super Mario. How many
compared
were
to that,
whatever.
you know, Mario has the most characters in their series in there, of course.
6, 7, 8, 9. 9 for Super Mario, 3 for Donkey Kong, 6 for Zelda, 4 for Metroid, 1 for Yoshi. Although
Well, Yoshi's part of the Mario. I don't know why. That's a
they
mix.
count it as separate series.
I know. I don't know why, but
So technically, Super Mario would have 10.
yeah.
You know, 3 for Kirby, 3 for Star Fox. Pokemon's right behind Mario, 8 for Pokemon. 2 for Earthbound, 1 for F-Zero, Ice Climber. Fire Emblem with their 8. So here's the thing, Fire Emblem has just as many as Pokemon.
Yeah.
You know? Kid Icarus with 3. Really? WarioWare? Okay, so Mario has 11.
Yeah.
You know.
And because they took Dr. Mario out, right?
No, Dr. Mario's still in there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, Metal Gear 1, Sonic 1, Pikmin 1, Animal Crossing 2, Mega Man 1, Wii Fit, Punch-Out, Mies, Pac-Man, Xenoblade S2, Duck Hunt, Street Fighter.
With the switcheroo. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then wouldn't it be 9 with Robin? Because you could be a boy or a girl.
What, Fire Emblem?
Mm-hmm.
No, Robin is a separate character, completely separate character. From
Whatever
Fire
the
Emblem
wizard is with the book, you could be a boy and a girl.
Yes, you play as Robin. Yes.
Yeah. Wouldn't that
But
be 2?
There aren't Echo Fighters for Robin.
No, but you could choose to be a boy edition or a girl edition of Robin. Wouldn't that consider as 2 characters?
No, but it's still Robin.
Then why would you give the other one a pass?
The other who a pass?
The one you said that it counted for 2 characters. You just said the name. Crap. Go back where you were. What list were you on? Okay.
F-Zero, Ice Climber, Kid Icarus, WarioWare, Animal Crossing, me, Pac-Man, Xenoblade, Street
Xenoblade.
Fighter.
That's what it is. Yeah, because that's 2 characters. So that's 2 characters, right?
Yeah,
Xenoblade.
Shulk and Pyra / Mithra.
So would that be 3, or was that considered 2 to you?
Because when you choose Pyra, when you do certain moves, you can turn into Mithra.
Okay.
So it's still the one character. You're still selecting one
All right.
character.
All right.
By that logic.
Okay, go
Final
ahead.
Fantasy VII's 2. Bayonetta is
1.
Just her. Splatoon's just 1. Castlevania's Castlevania, that's going weird, but they're 2 because Simon and Richter.
Well, yeah, because you're going to count if you're going to count Street Fighters 2, then Castlevania is definitely 2.
Yeah, because they are 2 separate characters.
Yes.
Persona, Dragon Quest, Banjo-Kazooie, Fatal Fury, ARMS, Minecraft, Tekken, and Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
So basically, not even basically, Fire Emblem, Pokemon, Zelda, and Super Mario have the lion's share.
With that being said, we're going to take a quick game of this. Characters that deserve here. So let's take 4 Fire Emblems out.
Okay.
And what 4 should be in that spot to you? Who deserved to be at that table if we took 4 of those Fire Emblem characters out? And of course, if we want to talk about who should be there as Fire Emblem characters, I'm pretty sure Marth is definitely in there, right? But for you, who else?
What? Wait, who am I taking out or who am I leaving?
Yeah, no. Look, if we're gonna take 4 Fire Emblem characters out, who's the 4 that's gonna stay?
The 4 that are going to stay.
Martha definitely has to stay.
Marth, Roy, and Ike. Because I'm going on. Yeah,
really?
I know. Marth, Roy, and Ike.
Really? You don't want to change up, have a wizard person in there? I'd say you got to change it up, man.
Marth, Roy, and Ike, and then go ahead and do Robin.
Okay.
I mean,
I do Marth, Lucia from
Lucina's an echo of Marth, though, or an echo of Crom.
No, it's not. They're not a.
It has an E next to her name. She is an echo fighter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you? Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking right. I'm looking right.
Then
at
Chrome.
I
thought Chrome would be an echo fighter.
No, Crom is Lucina is a descendant of Crom.
Okay.
So I think they made her an echo fighter for Crom.
Okay, then I'll go with your pick. Okay, I'll go with whatever you got. Because I thought Lucia was actually a main character, so I was going to say Marth, Lucia, Robin, and then the newest character.
What, Byleth or Corrin?
Yeah, because Byleth is the newest edition, and it came out around the time the new game came out, so I would cater to that. But yeah.
Okay, I will drop Roy for Byleth. I'll drop Roy for Byleth.
Okay.
But it'll be a bunch of blue-haired somebodies, and then Robin.
Cool. Works for me.
So,
all right. Who are the 4 that belong here? Let's debate about it. Who's the 4 that belong in this spot? Now, let's go ahead and exclude Sony. Because Sony never contributed into this, and we do not see them ever going to contribute into this.
No.
Okay.
Why would they?
Well, because Xbox stepped in, and other third parties thought, it's a celebration.
They even gave them the Doomslayer me outfit, so.
True.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that, you never know. Sony could have been nice enough to give them something, like something small they don't care about. I honestly thought at one point Ratchet & Clank might have made it on the list. I honestly believe that.
That would have been a good addition. And that would have gotten a lot of people hyped. But Sony's very, I'm not going to say selfish. They're just very overprotective of their properties.
But that's the same. They're like Nintendo, right? In their own way.
More or less, yes.
Because when they did their All-Stars, only third parties made it on that list, right? So it's basically the same thing. The only difference is Microsoft and Nintendo have such a relationship of a shared character that was Banjo-Kazooie that I think kind of built that friendship a little bit more in that way. And that's why we got Cuphead later, as a Mii costume and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so anyways, excluding that, and excluding Sony, just to get it out of the way for people, who's the 4 that we agree on deserve to be in that spot?
We agree on?
Yeah, we got to agree. I will go ahead and throw the first one out. I think we might agree that Crash deserves to be in that party. Crash Bandicoot.
He isn't a Sony property. He's an Activision property now.
Yeah. And Crash always picked a fight first. When the PlayStation first came out, anyways, he was basically a spokesperson, and he would call out Nintendo for a lot of stuff. Yeah. And his series.
They used him.
Say what?
It was interesting they used him, but but then they didn't retain the rights to Crash Bandicoot.
Right. It's kind of crazy, right? Yeah. Crash Crash just has such a history. I think that he has a great moveset from his spins and all that stuff. I think they could have done something hilarious with that. But I honestly think as a character in the gaming history, because let's be honest, Ultimate is probably one of the best, greatest piece of video game history, all packed up in one. You're getting even all the DLC characters that have come in there have made that game a better history now. Now, if they didn't have any DLC characters, this would be the best Nintendo history game. But now they brought this. This is a celebration of all gamings in here. So I think Crash deserves to be in that spot.
He is a certain representative of gaming history. I agree. But if that's the case, then why Crash? Why not Spyro?
Because Crash was first. That's the only compared to Spyro, he was first.
Okay, but you would not disagree if it was possible to put Spyro in there too, if circumstances were different.
Right now I can consider it, but I have to see if there's any other characters that can beat that. So far, the question is, who beats Crash now? Does Spyro beat Crash? That's the question.
Not going to beat him as far as popularity. No. Spyro
So I guess that's the way I think we're gonna have to look at it. Like, who's more popular than Crash in that way, right?
I mean, if you're going to say that, then Ratchet and Clank.
But we're not doing Sony, remember?
True.
So
well, now it's Sony because Insomniac got acquired. Yeah.
But
okay.
Yeah. But even before, no, but even wait. Even though you said that, Sony still owned the character. Insomniac, they just didn't own the studio, but Ratchet and Clank owned the characters, just like Jak and Dexter and all that stuff. So they own Ratchet and Clank. Someone else can make Ratchet and Clank. It's just they trust Insomniac to do it. Because remember, they went off to make Fuse for EA. They made Sunset Overdrive. How come they didn't make Ratchet and Clank on anything else? No, Sony owns it.
That's true.
So
Insomniac's just the stewards of it. They don't.
Yeah.
They didn't own it. Okay. Well, if that's the case, let's see. What other character? That's hard. Because put everybody in
So what about Rocket Knight? Do you think Rocket Knight was popular enough to be on this list to you to make it to the party?
Rocket Knight's a deep cut. Like,
it is a deep cut, right?
Yeah, Rocket Knight's a deep cut. Like, you might as well say Amagon.
Sparkster. I think his name is Sparkster, to be honest.
Sparkster the Rocket Knight. Yeah. You might as well say Amagon at that point. That's deep cut. That would be like way down on the list.
Okay.
That would be great, especially some of his moves. I mean, with incorporate his rocket pack, sword, everything. His tail, all that stuff. But no, he is. Then again, no, he wasn't obscure. He wasn't popular enough in Japan either.
Okay.
Martha and Roy were obscure here until they came, to Smash Brawl. Or Melee.
And also, do you want another sword character? But he's not Rockets.
He's got Rockets.
Right. What about Shantae?
That actually, I'm surprised.
I'm surprised too.
They did slip in there, but she is borderline only because there's some newer games that are released for her periodically, but without that, she was borderline deep cut character.
She is, and the fact that she would have been an interesting character due to not only her hair but her transform of different animals. That would have been an interesting variety to bring to play. Yeah, that would have been interesting to see what
Kirby turns into a stone. If you do his down special move, she can turn into an elephant. Boom.
Yeah. And that's only the tip of the iceberg, right? Because each game, she has different animal forms. Like, she was a mermaid at one point. Yep. Yeah.
Mermaid, monkey, bat, spider, all that stuff.
Yeah. So that is a deep cut, but I think that's definitely higher than Sparkster. Definitely.
Yes. No, it would be because, Shantae's had a game in the last year that came out. Sparkster hasn't had something since the 90s.
Yeah. And also, too, don't forget Way Forward is also doing Advanced Wars.
True.
Yeah, so.
But who is notable from Advanced Wars?
I'm not putting no. I was just saying that'd be kind of cool since they're doing Advanced Wars. That would make a fun connection. Yeah, relationship to put Shantae in there.
Yeah. That'd be funny if they actually put Shantae in a cameo in Advanced Wars. But I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I think it'd be kind of like, it'd be cool for DLC if they decide to do DLC later for that.
The Shantae Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I would.
What about Master Chief?
Everybody's been saying that.
I know, right? He changed the game.
He did, and everybody knows of Master Chief. But I don't know if Xbox would be willing to let that character go, because if they were willing to, they would have already. It would have been a shoo-in. We probably would have gotten Master Chief instead of Pyro.
There was some talk that some developers said if Smash Bros. Wanted to use Halo, we are more than welcome to it. So I don't know if Nintendo was just not keen of looking at them. You know what I mean?
Or it wouldn't have been as popular in Japan.
Yeah, but like I said, this is half and half, right? Like, there's some characters, that Japan didn't like, and then there's some America didn't like. So I think it's a little half and half.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I think Master Chief,
because Crash is definitely not a Japanese fan game to me.
No, but Master Chief probably got vetoed somewhere in the
True,
in
but
the offices.
Dude, I think that would have been a great pick just because that's the way somehow Xbox can get some kind of recognition in Japan. You know what I mean?
Oh, see past episode Xbox versus Japan. But I mean,
I'm not saying if I don't know if he belongs on the table. Maybe he does. It depends, but I think he's a great contender for it.
But not in this select four.
Okay.
He would be a good addition, but not in the select four. So far, you got Shantae. I agree with you there.
So are we putting Shantae in the table?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Shantae, Crash. Okay. Ooh, man, you're making me dig deep.
So what about Dante or Okami or Amaterasu from Okami? Like any of those characters might fit the bill to you?
Amaterasu, yes. From Okami, because Okami is everywhere. It's on every platform.
Mm-hmm.
Dante would be another Sora character.
That's very true. 100%. But I remember a lot of people wanted Dante in this game too.
Yeah, well.
Because I would honestly put Beautiful Joe in there before I put Dante.
That would make people happy, but that would also piss them off because we haven't had a Beautiful Joe game in 10 plus years.
Unless they pulled that Kingdom Hearts surprise and not make it cloud-based, but announce the game's coming out.
I would love if they did like a Beautiful Joe collection because there's what 3 games?
2 main ones.
2 main lines.
Yeah, and then other ones, one was like kind of like a Smash Brothers type.
Rumble.
Yeah, and then there was another one with the kid. I forgot what it's called, but it was on the DS also. So, yep.
Okay, so I did not know. So that would make 4 Double Trouble.
That's what it is. Yeah,
okay,
that's what it is. Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, we were talking about 2 characters that are very American, but what about in the more Japanese front? Now, we saw Joker make an appearance, which, that's still kind of surprising.
Persona, yeah. Striking on that Persona popularity because starting with Persona 4, Persona was getting extremely popular in America. So that's why
Shin Megami Tensei, in general, yeah.
And that's why we're seeing so much of this Shin Megami Tensei stuff now starting to be coming out over here. Which is great. It's not my series, but there are a lot of people over here who love the Shin Megami Tensei series, and it's great more people could get exposed to it. But I'm surprised. I'm not terribly surprised because they're going off of how popular Joker is. I mean, the fact that you already have Persona 5, you have Persona 5 Royal, you have Persona 5 Strikers, you have another Persona something game.
Now, I know this is another Sora character, but what about Chrono?
That's kind of spitting in people's faces. Like, hey.
Really? Okay.
You want Chrono back. Here he is in Smash.
Now, wait. Now, let's pause for a minute. Because even though we got Cloud and Sephiroth, yes, we still got the PlayStation edition of that. Would it be satisfying if a port over of that game came to the Switch? Would that be fine with people?
Of Chrono Trigger?
Yes. Or would you still feel like this spit in the face?
I would say if they did it, they need to do it kind of like how they did with Sora.
Okay.
It's like, oh, and by the way, so for those who are not familiar with Chrono, blah 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 blah, Chrono Trigger is now on the Super Nintendo Online, Nintendo Switch Online. Okay. It's added today. But Square probably wouldn't want that because they can still monetize Chrono Trigger.
Okay.
I think it would be a great idea. But I don't know. They probably re-release or remaster the DS version of Chrono Trigger, which is a good one. It is a good version, but remaster the DS version of Chrono Trigger. Mm-hmm. So I will say yes as number 3.
Oh,
but with an asterisk.
Okay, so he's still in the maybe until something else comes along. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If I can't think of anything better, then we'll go ahead and put him in at number 3. Because that would be a good little.
So we're still kind of issue on 3, but we'll work on 4 at the same time. So what about you? I've been mentioning a lot. Anything that comes to your head or anything so far?
Oh man, many. I'm trying so many, but so many of them are deep cut like characters. Oh, Well, since Konami's already kind of sharing some stuff, one of the characters from Contra.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, they go by different names, so you could easily just use those as costume choices.
I honestly feel like they're more of assist trophies to me than a main character at the table.
Yeah, assist trophies. If Contra Rogue Core didn't suck so much, I could make an argument for them being a character. But yeah, assist trophies. There's also Goemon from the Mystical Ninja series.
That would be a shout out for Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, now you're talking about deep cut. That's a Japanese deep cut.
I mean, it is and it isn't. Like America got 3 Goemon games.
They did, but no, I don't think people think it off the top of their heads, though, right? Like, yeah, Mystical Ninja, they'll know right off the spot. But Goemon, I don't know, man.
Goemon 64 and Goemon's Great Adventure.
Man, because it ended after 64?
Yeah.
So,
but that's on Konami.
That's true. And if Nintendo thinks it's worth it, though, I don't know if Nintendo would be looking at it like that. I weirdly
got one for you. Bonk.
Okay. Bonk? You take Bonk over Bomberman?
Ooh. God, that is a tough one. Because
Bonk would be a good assist. I would give Bonk a great assist for that. Him just coming in and just jumping and smack. Yeah, I can see him more of assists.
Bomberman would be a better assist. I would say Bonk would be a fun character.
Really? I can't picture much of his moveset. Especially how the hell would he get back on the platform? His head is freaking heavy.
Well, that's the thing. So if you do his upward smash or whatever, he's going to be one of the heavier characters. He's going to be smaller, but he's going to be one of the heavier characters. And with the heavier characters, it is harder to get back up on the platform.
I just can't picture it. That's tough.
He morphs into Airzone.
But we're comparing it to Chrono, right? That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
An argument could be made more people recognize Chrono than Bonk. But Bonk is iconic.
Because if anything, dude, I put Earthworm Jim 10 times before Bonk. And I'm not even putting Earthworm Jim in this table. No, I want him on there. I don't think he deserves to be there. But I want him there.
I was about to say, Bonk's had more games than Earthworm Jim.
But Earthworm Jim is more recognizable. That's the crazy part about it.
Bonk's got the legacy, though.
Earthworm Jim got a cartoon. Once you get a cartoon, you noticeable.
Okay, so you're saying a cartoon places you above a mascot.
Every video game most of the time have a cartoon of some sort. Even that terrible Donkey Kong Country got a freaking cartoon. It's terrible.
Yeah, but I mean, Donkey Kong Country's a shoe-in.
No, I'm joking because Crash never got a cartoon. I'm joking.
Yeah, that's where I will clash. I will put Bonk over Earthworm Jim.
I'm definitely Earthworm Jim over it. Earthworm Jim has a better fun set than me.
Earthworm Jim deserves to be in the cast, but not in the slot of 4. I gave
Bonk and Earthworm Jim are both sis trophies then.
I gave up some Fire Emblem characters for this.
I don't know, dude. Bonk is tough to put in there, man. I feel like I think Sparkster is more in Bonk. As a playability. Because I can't think of a moveset in my head. You have to sit me down and tell me what his moves would be. But I can tell you Earthworm Jims, I can tell you Sparksters. I could probably give you
Well, yeah, by that logic, you might as well say Vector Man.
Vector Man's not popular. He never continued.
Exactly.
He never continued.
Exactly.
But he never got that. Look, so far, all the ones we had have more entries than Vector Man. That's why he's not on this list. Sparkster got one more back in the 360 PlayStation 3 era. He got one more. That's it. After that, no more. No more.
Okay,
but that's tough because then I could be a hypocrite because the fact that hell, I think Cuphead could have been on this list too, But Cuphead doesn't have enough movesets. All he does is shoot, so he wouldn't work. He'd be good as an assist trophy.
Yeah, Cuphead would be a good assist trophy. Cuphead and Mugman as assist trophies.
Yeah.
The reason I'm thinking Bonk is because Bonk can eat spicy food and blow fire. He uses his head. He can go even down and bounce and stuff on his head. There's an offshoot of Bonk called Air Zonk, who can fly. Bonk can also fly certain power-ups. So you can easily make a moveset out of that.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
we'll make him number 3. We'll make him number 3. Chrono Trigger's still in the maybe list. Only because, and if people are listening to this, it's only because he's a Sora character. That's the only reason why he's in the maybe list. If we didn't have so many Sora characters, Chrono would be automatically without a second guess. But that's the struggle there. Can we think of anybody beyond Chrono Trigger?
Oh, I know some people are like, fuck Bonk.
Right, I know, right? But that's the thing about Smash Brothers. You can't there's a character for everybody. Some people are going to walk in happy, some people are not going to be happy. That's the thing about Smash Brothers. As long as your character makes it in, that's all that matters. So if you're Cloud made it on there, you should be happy for anybody else that get their characters in there, right? So that's the way I look at it.
I just wanted to throw some recognition for the Turbo graphics, man.
Yeah,
but again, Konami owns all that.
Yeah,
so.
With Hudson and all that. But I think it's cool because like I want weird characters. I want the out of the blue characters. The point is like, the hell is this character? I never heard of this person. Because that's the same with Marth. Like, who the hell was Marth?
Yeah.
And then Fire Emblem got popular.
Exactly. Fire Emblem blew up because we were like, who is this Marth and Roy and who are all these? And then we get Fire Emblem games on the GameCube. Boom. Mm-hmm. And the Wii and so forth. On every platform except for the Wii U.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't count FE Sharp Tokyo Drift or whatever.
Mirage Sessions, but yeah. Anyways.
Tokyo. I own it, and I'm like, whatever.
Well, now, Lloyd definitely got talked about a lot from Tales of Symphonia. It's another Sora character. People wanted Lloyd for a very long time on this list. Because Namco's helping out with the game and everything like that. So, you thought, hey, throw Lloyd in there a little bit. I'm a huge Tails fan. I don't know if he'd be my pick to bring in, but he is the most iconic character out of that whole series.
True, because it was in one of the most accessible games out of that series.
But even that, I mean, you got Ryo Hayabusa, I think, from Ninja Gaiden.
He's already in Dead or Alive.
So,
but yeah.
So Link was in Soul Calibur at one point.
True, but if you do Ryu Hayabusa, you can't do his badass Xbox Ninja Gaiden. I want the NES Ninja Gaiden where
if they can keep him the 16-bit hands down, that'd be amazing.
He's like,
that would be so amazing. Just get the crow to come across.
Oh, good. Except this time the crow helps him and lifts him up.
I honestly thought Resident Evil, like Jill or Claire, would have made the cut.
Yeah, I mean, they Resident Evil characters appeared in the Marvel vs. Capcom, so...
Yeah, I just thought the Smash Brothers definitely, because, like, they're the ones that really changed the horror genre. You know what I mean?
Do that. Go big. Do Leon Kennedy. So...
Yeah.
So, that could work. I could see that. I'm hard pressed to think about what his moveset would be because it's gun roundhouse kick,
the Chuck Norris of all moves.
Yeah. Would he just throw a Ganados at you?
So they could have fun with it the way Jill was using Marvel's Capcom 2, where flying crows come, a tyrant comes, or a zombie will come. Why he's like, get out of the way, and a zombie just appears from the ground and grabs them or something like that.
Yeah. Inclusions like that, Marvel vs. Capcom games made me wish I actually had the patience to learn the 2D fighters because there are so many cool characters and combinations that I would have loved to have done, but whatever, I would have loved Frank West, Deadpool, and Spider-Man on a team,
Yeah.
So, but okay. So to recap, 1 second. Apparently, Thai food's being ordered.
Okay. Well, for people that are watching, we're talking about Crash. Definitely makes it to the table. Shantae.
Yes.
And the Half Genie makes it on the table, and we have Bonk and makes it onto the table.
Yeah, I fought hard for Bonk.
Yeah, he did.
I fought hard for Bonk.
He did.
I used my head.
He did. You said it. But this fourth one right now, I feel like Leon is itching if they get creative with it, but it's itching along with, Chrono.
I mean, if you wanna be a total dick about it, Regina from Dino Crisis.
No, she's not. No, Dino Crisis is not popular. It was.
Oh, is it too deep cut?
That's way too deep cut.
Aya Brea from Parasite Eve.
Nope, never touch a Nintendo console.
Okay.
Because you remember, I noticed that every game on there, one of those series had at least touched Nintendo at one point. Parasite Eve never touched a Nintendo console.
True, it never touched it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even Terry Bogard was on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And of course, all the King of the Fighters are now all on the Switch as we speak right now.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Once again, if you guys like 2D fighters, that's a good choice.
It is a good home.
Take your Geese Howard loving ass over there and get out of my Tekken.
Oh yeah, we do need to hurry up and decide so we can wrap this episode up.
God,
I know, right? I know it's tough to say because I'm really thinking hard because you got your Capcom. I'm trying to think of different companies that haven't put their hat in the ring. You have your Square Enix, you have your Capcom, you have your
Konami.
Namco. You have your Konami, Is there any other studios that we can think of that haven't put their...
Let's do another Ice Climber thing. Bubble Bobble.
What?
Bub and Bob.
As a duo together?
Hey, the Ice Climbers are doing it.
Yeah, but they're Ice Climbers.
That makes
sense.
Ice Climbers. Yeah, I guarantee you more people play Bubble Bobble than Ice Climber.
True. You're not wrong. But... we already have a dinosaur.
Yeah, but does this dinosaur blow bubbles?
That's an assist for me. That's an assist. Because that'd be funnier. You have the boop and then they just float up. That would be...
Yeah, their final smash is that they just put everybody in a big bubble and they just munch it on some fruit as they float away.
Yeah. And it sucks because... since Sony didn't want to put their hat in the ring, because there's a lot of choices. If we had Sony in the hat, we're like, oh, hands down, that person would be on the list. Game over. You know? But since they kind of excluded themselves, I mean, let's see here. Because I'm going off this little bit of a list here. And yeah, they're saying Sweet Tooth, but I don't think Sweet Tooth definitely wouldn't be on there. Dr. Wily, I don't think he would definitely be on there.
No, you might as well put Metal Sonic or Shadow the Hedgehog on.
Metal Sonic should have been the Shadow, the Echo.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Man, maybe we'll just have to stick with Chrono on this list.
All right, Chrono can be number 4 then.
Okay. Well, then there you go. So we have the 4 people that we will sacrifice 4 emblems for, Fire Emblems for. So, but with that, I want to thank everybody for listening to this episode of the In-Game Boss Podcast. As you know, we are on YouTube only, so definitely go visit our YouTube page. And if you like this episode, give it a like and subscribe if you enjoy this and enjoy the rest of our content. Leave a comment down below. Tell us what Fire Emblem characters deserve to stay on here, and what characters do you want to replace them that could have made this even more ultimate than it should be. But hashtag thank you Sakurai for everything you have done for Smash Brothers on this journey here. It was a hell of a journey. You deserve to go get some rest. Every video you did for demonstrating for the game, you had fun with it, even though through the struggles. I think if this doesn't make people happy enough, I don't know what they will make them happy with. They
can shut the hell up then.
Yeah. You're still going to play it. You're going to still play the game. You're still going to have fun with it. It's going to be crazy in the future where Smash Brothers is going to go, of what the next level is going to be. And maybe in the future, maybe some of the characters that you've been wanting might show up there. We're not 100% sure.
Yeah. Someone made a good point. Like, even if Nintendo goes to another platform, should go ahead and port Smash Brothers Ultimate over to it.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Give Sakurai a break.
Yeah. That'd be wonderful. That'd be wonderful. But as you know, if you want to find us personally, you can find me as RetroAmp07 on Twitter.
And you can find me at the Grumpy Bear 84 on Twitter.
All right.
No Insta, no TikTok.
No TikTok. But with that, thank you so much, and we will catch you on our next episode. Stage clear. Let's go.
New Final Smash high score.